Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between me and Idra here on Blistering Sands. Now, first of all, I do not think this is the real Idra. I think this guy just happened to steal Idra's name, so don't take anything too seriously in this particular game. Here I am spawning as the red Terran player over on the bottom left hand side, what I'll call the 7 o'clock position. Meanwhile, we have Idra spawning over here on the top right-hand side as the blue Zerg player. Now, yeah, just red versus blue. This is one of those games from Battle.net. It looks as though Blizzard has found a lot of the issues regarding the lag. So the lag not nearly as bad as it originally was. Now, back over here, I'm going for a standard 10 supply depot. I will go ahead and follow it up with the 12 barracks, more of an economic build. I just want to show more different strategies, as a lot of players have been saying that all I use are Reapers. So even on Blistering Sands, I am not using Reapers in this particular instance. Overlord now being produced, so quickly going up to 13 food, and now going to go out and scout with this early drone. So this drone now going out to scout before the spawning pool is even down. So perhaps we'll see Idra go for a 14 spawning pool, going for a gas first. So gas first generally is a weird opening, and perhaps some baneling front doors, perhaps a little bit more of a gas heavy strategy. SCV is going to come on in. I want to quickly check, make sure that there is no hatchery down. You see that the SCV quickly checks, no hatchery there, and now going to go ahead and head on up. Now I see this drone, and I knew that this drone was already coming in, so I thought that he may try to attack this single SCV that's trying to build this barrack. So another SCV coming off the line in order to take down this drone over here as I'm producing more units. Producing more SCVs, gonna get a orbital command right as this barracks is done, and then start training up a marine as well. So down over here, you just saw the spawning pool just got laid down. SCV now making its way out of there. Idra getting the extractor, but not, for some reason, finally transferring some drones onto gas. And now should be getting the queen. So this is definitely not the real Idra, as I'm pointing out so many mistakes as a Zerg player. I'm almost going to get up to 300 minerals in order to set down perhaps a fast hatchery. Either should have gone, yeah, now going to go for that fast hatchery. Maybe should have also tried to get that earlier queen to increase that production. However, Idra did drop down an extractor right over here. So the extractor now down and gonna be completed in just a moment. Marines now moving over. I moved those units over there and then tried to take down the drone once again, but the drone did not get taken down. You want to make sure that your Marines are right next to that extractor just in case that does happen. What generally happens at that instance is he can cancel that extractor, and then now that drone is taken down, he's able to recover those minerals. So 3 Marines, and looking at the income, we're currently seeing on 16 harvesters versus 16. However, with that mule, I am able to mine much more quickly. Idra now getting this hatchery down, and taking a look at the production, also getting a roach warren. So going for that roach warren. Perhaps he didn't see any marauders, didn't see a tech lab being placed down by this barracks. I do put a bunker over here, and this was something that I've been experimenting with just a little bit. And now off of a baneling front door, what you can do is you can put a bunker here and then follow it up with another supply here. And what that does is, the bunker, I believe, is a little bit protected against any of those banelings that try to come in through this front door. And even when they bust through that front door, the Marines are still safe in the bunker. Zerg player normally does not have enough banelings to continue to push through that front door. And then this supply depot over here creates another wall off. And now the bunker is able to fire back and hold off any attack. Idra now getting this expansion up and running off of I'll see a single drone. Still no queens yet. Finally getting a queen back at the main base. Not going to tier 2. Production-wise, producing 1 roach, a queen, and also getting the metabolic boost on those Zerglings. Putting a supply depot on this back door, making sure that there is nothing over here. Pretty standard play. Idra also using the Zelnaga watchtower. So the Zelnaga watchtower enabling him to get a decent sight across the map, able to see if any units try to come in through that center ground right there. Now, gonna go ahead and move out with 2 Hellions. So Hellions now moving out in order to do a little bit of harassment. Going to run past a couple Zerglings, and those Zerglings now gonna try to take down these destructible rocks. These destructible rocks have 3 armor, so it is fairly difficult for Zergling to take down one of those units. Hellions were trying to push in, and as soon as I saw those roaches, I realized that he has a roach warren, and I would not be able to take down any of those units. Idra now coming in with a couple of Zerglings and realized that there were Hellions over here, so he decided to not try to press on this back door any further. So both me and my opponent just pretty much sitting pretty safely. I think I did do a scanner sweep on my opponent just now or earlier, so I see that he is teching the tier 2. And on teching the tier 2, you have to worry about Mutalisks. So I do have a fair number of Marines, so those Marines will be able to help out, but I also want to get an engineering bay, a couple missile turrets. Static defense against those units are always fairly helpful. Also getting some Banshees and also researching Cloak at the same time. Now moving out with these Hellions. These Hellions are here more to keep track of the whole... keep track of Idra's force. So Idra now going to go ahead and push out, and now Hellions trying to get a little bit of a splash attack. The Hellions have a range of 6 while the Roaches have a range of 3. So I want to try to get a little bit of a kiting action on these Roaches. I want to at least keep him honest. Also, I thought that there may perhaps still be some Zerglings or swarm of Zerglings up here, so I did a scanner sweep, and then I did not see any Zerglings, so I realized that would not work that well. So once again, moving back out with these Hellions. Roaches back in the center of the map. Both players, I'm sitting on a smaller army right now, or now getting up to a larger army. I believe he has a little bit more harvesters. No, I'm up on harvesters as well. So doing a little bit of torching, trying to deal as much damage to those Roaches as I can. Accidentally torch my own Hellion there, and now trying to just kite this action. I'm trying to buy time with these Hellions as I'm moving over with these Banshees. These Banshees are going to be the key destructive force, so I want to try to sacrifice these Hellions, perhaps get him to think that I'm going to be attacking over on this front door, make him to commit to more Roaches. If I can make him commit to more Roaches, as these Banshees are able to deal that damage, and I'm going to be fairly happy in here. So now coming in are these Banshees. Banshees now taking down these drones, and Idra's drone count now just falling very, very quickly, taking down those units. And now he's, for some reason, transferred some units over to gas once again, and still getting taken down. I'm trying to do a little bit of that sliding action to take down those units, as now Roaches now going to go ahead and move on out. I have one single Banshee back at my base. I'm going to move this siege tank back over and just let this Banshee deal its damage. I want this siege tank to be able to siege on up and try to take down these units. So now Roaches trying to push in onto this Marauder, but he's really unable to see up onto that high ground, and he's just losing a lot, taking a lot of damage there. So gonna lose his Roach army here. However, now he did come with a Hydralisk and a single Queen, so I'm able to escape with a very low hit point Banshee. Banshee down to 2 hit points. I'm gonna return him all the way home in order to get him healed back up. Gonna leave this one still cloaked Banshee here. Perhaps I'll be able to get an additional Hydralisk kill as more Banshees and Marauders are moving out. So moving over with that Banshee, I want to kill that Hydralisk before my cloak runs out. So just running out of cloak there, and now just pushing more damage onto Idra with this Banshee off in this position. So taking out these 2 drones over here. So Idra being forced to move back up to that north side. Now 2 Queens coming in to try to fend or push back against this Banshee. Banshee down to 59 hit points. Stay tuned for part 2 of this replay between me and Idra here on Blistering Sands.